Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and we finally made it to London, got here safe and sound from Edinburgh, Scotland, and we are here for a restaurant that many of you have requested for a long time, and I booked the flight here to London from Newark just to make it happen for you guys. Not just a Gordon Ramsay restaurant, the Gordon Ramsay restaurant, Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, the spot that put him on the map as one of the best chefs in Britain and one of the best chefs in the world. And as opposed to his other restaurants, there's actually another one of his restaurants down the street, a more mainstream one of his pub and grills. This one definitely looking more discreet. You would walk right past it, and I think that's the whole idea. You know, the point of it is to be discreet and be like a little bougie hangout spot for 3 Michelin star folks. Although from the outside, we can kind of peek into the sophisticated atmosphere a little bit. Now, while we reviewed many of Gordon Ramsay's more casual restaurants and kind of more almost fast casual and sort of fast foodie restaurants in the US, this is the restaurant, like I said, that put him on the map and has held 3 Michelin stars for over 20 years. He also went on to open many more restaurants, getting 7 Michelin stars total in the end. And then of course, we all know the rest. He launched his reality TV empire and his restaurant empire in general, consisting of more casual joints. And honestly, not bad for a failed soccer player from Scotland. Now, these really bougie, exclusive Michelin star joints, sometimes they don't really take kindly to YouTubers such as me filming, so it's possible we'll have to do one of those B-rolls and then commentary afterwards. But I'll do my best and we'll see what we're able to get away with. So until then, let's just stroll the neighborhood a bit and see you on the inside. Okay guys, so we are seated inside the Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, flagship Gordon Ramsay restaurant, and you know, it's a really sophisticated, nice place, but unlike the other fancy restaurant we reviewed on this channel, Le Bourdon, as well as the Sushi Nakazawa Michelin-starred restaurant in Manhattan, this place, it feels fancy, but it so far doesn't feel as uptight as those places. It definitely feels more loose, which I like. Well-decorated tables, even the water is a nice Italian mineral water from Tuscany. Pretty small dining room, pretty simple, just white tablecloth, but nice.
Canapé. So you have a lovely robe de garrigue goujat. Robe de garrigue is a fresh cheese from south of France.
Okay.
For you, sir, we did a little chickpea tartlet with green peas and mint.
Okay.
For madame is a lobster tartlet with lemon and dill. And then you have a buckwheat tartlet with beef tartare.
Beef tartare.
Dill pickle and pickle mustard.
Excellent, sounds good. Thank you. So some of the apps have arrived. It looks like some complimentary apps. The menu has also arrived too, but before we dive into that, let's see what we got for the starters. Now, I don't know how much of the explanation that you guys heard. I did not quite understand a lot of what he said, but what I did pick up is this is a beef tartare.
This is yours.
Oh, that's mine.
Lobster. This is lobster.
Oh, I see. And then some cheese, and yeah, the cheese is warm, so let's eat this while it's fresh, why don't we? So first, let's eat this cheese starter. Bite-sized, almost like a crouton. Thank you. They took the plate already. Very good service. That was fantastic. While that was like a toasted cheese flavor, I don't know how to explain it except for it kind of tasted like a Cheez-It. It kind of tasted like a Cheez-It, but like an upscaled Cheez-It. And unlike a dry Cheez-It, the crunchiness on the outside was very one-to-one to a Cheez-It, but the inside was liquidy and it was fantastic, like the perfect cheesy snack. Off to a great start so far. All right, so Tina already ate the lobster one. Hopefully it was good. But just look at how beautiful this pea starter is. And the bottom is so sturdy. I almost wonder if the bottom is not edible, but I'm sure it is. So, bon appetit. You know, that was not what I was expecting. For some reason, I thought the peas would be more mushy, but they're more hard, almost like al dente peas. But I like it. Like, it's almost like you have that chew of the pea, how do I say, shell, like the pea skin. It's like you have like that pleasant al dente chew, which kind of helps you like chew the pea and really taste the fresh pea flavor, like almost like a garden pea flavor. I don't know if that makes sense. And indeed, the bottom is edible, but it kind of just tastes like a cracker. The last starter, let's try this beef tartare. I see a piece of beef tartare, and everything else looks like some fresh herbs and vegetables. Not sure what the rest is. And it's again on an edible, kind of pie crust-like texture thing. Oh wow. It's not just beef tartare, it has like a smoky flavor. Like it kind of tastes like smoked salmon merged with beef tartare, and the vegetables balance it out so that it's not too meaty, not too heavy. That was fantastic.
The bottom is really crunchy.
Yeah. Now that we've eaten all the starters though, let's dive into the menu. Gordon Ramsay's menu here. And it is not him cooking today. It is a chef patron, Matt Abe, I'm guessing that's how you say it. Their top menu item is a carte blanche. And this, I believe, is basically like omakase in sushi, where you let go, you let the chef just completely deliver what he wants, what he thinks would be best based upon seasonality, and just what he's feeling that day and what he thinks you'll be feeling. And then next is the menu prestige, and I think this is what we're probably going to go with. The server walked us through this earlier. It starts off with a spring vegetarian dish, a lobster ravioli, which he assured me they would substitute for Ratatouille. Love that movie, looking to see their take on that dish. Then a Cornish turbot, which is fish, but I cannot say no to this 100-day aged Cumbrian blue-gray. They said that this is a sirloin steak. You know, we're in the UK, so sirloin, I believe, means New York strip here. So a 100-day aged New York strip, you guys know I can't turn that down. It's either that or a hogget, which I googled, and that's lamb. And then they got some cheeses and two desserts, a sorbet. I'm not sure what a praline is. Sorry, excuse my, my lack of education here. But for 210 pounds, I think we're gonna go with this. After all, we flew all the way to London for this. And then if you don't do any of those, you can do their prefix menu where you kind of order just one of these, and there is some overlap, such as the ravioli paired with one of the main courses and a dessert at the end for 180 pounds. But you know what? We came all the way here to the UK, so let's take the middle path, as Buddha would like. 210 pounds for a menu prestige. After all, I am dressed for prestige today, so let's order. So we're both gonna go with the menu prestige, although I cannot eat shellfish. So I think earlier, yeah,
Turbot is fine, yeah.
turbot is fine, yes. And I think he mentioned the ratatouille. He might switch it for.
That's fine.
That sounds good.
And the beef is the main course or the lamb?
I will do the beef.
I'll go to beef. Beef as well, medium rare is how recommended.
Yes.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
Can I do medium? Medium, yeah, no worries at all.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we start with a little surprise from the chef. And let you take the lid off.
Okay.
So in a real eggshell, you have a smoked confit egg yolk, crispy shallot, crispy chicken skin, wild garlic mousse.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen something so cool. And chicken skin. I love chicken skin, particularly like chicken skin skewers. I feel like I'm eating like a dinosaur egg or like a Pokemon egg or a Khaleesi Mother of Dragons egg. If I was Khaleesi, but I decided to eat my egg instead, but in a fancy way. When they gave me this super tiny spoon, at first I was a little bit skeptical. I thought it might have just been like a lame, pretentious thing, but I now see that you need a small spoon to be able to scoop this delicate egg, so let's try. Whoa. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Like, you know how fried chicken, the skin is the best part? It is exactly like they just took that delicious, crispy, oily, umami flavor and just somehow transferred it into this egg. You dig deeper into this egg and there's pieces of chicken skin in it. I'm having trouble making them appear, but just trust me, they're in there. Yeah, actually, Tina's is more clear. You can see those chunks of chicken skin at the bottom. Wow. And it's really liquidy, almost between like a thick chicken soup and like a foam. The taste and the presentation, oh my goodness. Oh, that is fantastic. That is so good. Wow. If you like chicken skin, and unless you're a vegetarian or unless you're from Mars, I'm sure the answer is yes. I mean, who doesn't like chicken skin? But if you love chicken skin, this is incredibly decadent and delicate at the same time somehow. Wow. Wow. All gone. Can't wait for the next course. I wish I could pick it up and drink it like a cup, but in a place like this, that would not be becoming of me. Thank you.
Have a lovely taste of spring. So in plate you can find some baby surreal potatoes, the white asparagus, lovely potato crisps, pickled mustard seeds, and to finish you have a smoked Lincolnshire poacher with cheese sauce.
Thank you so much, sir. Wow, so this is our vegetarian, one of our first courses, and I believe this is asparagus with potato, and he said some other stuff. I don't remember all of it. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this hot cuisine thing. But let's just dive right in. Looks really, really beautiful and delicate, almost like an elven forest or something, like something from Lord of the Rings, where wood elves are like singing hymns or something. Weapon of choice. I guess let's go with this really swell looking. Ooh, look at the back of the spoon. It's like a spoon truly made for a king or something. First one of the potatoes. The potato is like perfectly done. Like it's always hard to really nail the perfect doneness for potatoes. Like it's cooked to the perfect doneness level. Not too powdery, not too hard. And the sauce they have, it's like foam. Let's try one of the asparagus pieces. I don't usually like asparagus. We'll give it a try. The asparagus. Okay, so that just tastes like normal asparagus, but as Tina suggested, let's try to get some of that green puree at the bottom. This is a green puree, I'm guessing like a pea puree or something. Tastes really fresh. I do think that might be pea or something. Super, super fresh vegetables. This dish though, to me, tastes more super fresh and super like well executed, like the doneness and everything, but it's less like wow, the flavor, I think. But I get it. This is like a healthy starter to set up the rest of the journey together. So, like when you watch a TV show, the first or second episode might be starting to get ramped up, but it really finds its legs in the middle. Tina loves it, so to each their own, of course.
Okay, it's a touch more classic.
Ooh.
So I'll be back to explain when the ladies. So we have with goat butter.
Goat butter.
Yes. We also have slightly salted butter from Oxfordshire. And this is our Parker House bread root, which is beef flavor with shallots and rosemary, and it's glazed with honey and black pepper.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. House-made bread flavored with shallots, and what else did I pick up from what he said? I think he said honey and things like that, but let's just try it alongside the goat butter and a more standard, nice-looking butter. This kind of resembles the steakhouse butters that we've eaten. Guess I'll just grab a piece with my hands. I don't know what other way to... Yep, but it comes apart really easily. Buttery, seasoned on top, still warm on the inside. First a bite without any of the butters. The seasoning they have on this bread is what really makes it. Like, it really sets it apart. You really taste that shallot and garlic flavor. And there's a sweetness too. You taste the honey as well. Fantastic, and one of the best breads I've had in any restaurant so far. Let's try the goat butter. The goat butter is good?
I just tried it. It's good.
It's good? Okay. Tina approved. Ooh, look at how smooth this butter is. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it has a subtle different flavor. It tastes almost more milky in a way. Less creamy, less that rich buttery taste, but it is fantastic. And look at the way I'm able to slice off just such a smooth layer. Like, looking at it, I almost wondered if it was like ice cream at first, but no, it's like one of the smoothest butters I've ever seen. And now let's try the ampersand butter. Thank you.
Fresh seasonal ratatouille with romesco, so bell peppers, tomatoes, almonds all braised down. Fresh and pickled courgette and Jerusalem artichoke. We just finished with a green tomato ratatouille.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so I got my ratatouille and Tina got her ravioli, which is just one ravioli, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. Quickly gonna finish this butter and just quickly give you some thoughts. This is more of a standard butter with some goat butter, I guess, accidentally mixed in. It's good, but it pretty much tastes just like the really good steakhouse butters that we had in New York City. We've reviewed lots of those. Rich, creamy, smooth, but personally, while I enjoy it, I personally find that this goat butter is much more special and unique and really memorable. Now, Tina is taking a bite from her lobster ravioli, but I'm gonna try my ratatouille, and it looks good. This bowl is an interesting shape. Almost looks like a open mouth, you know, almost looks like a sandworm coming out from the desert in Dune, you know, like eating, swallowing everyone up. But to be honest, it looks very similar to the first course. But let's give it a try. Maybe the taste will be different, more so than the appearance. Maybe this will be like in the movie when he eats ratatouille and Anton Ego's pen drops. Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, that is fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is mind-blowingly good. I'm just gonna say it, this is one of the best vegetarian dishes I've ever had in my whole life. How do they do it? Just every vegetable is so crunchy and crispy yet fresh, and you eat a bunch of vegetables all at the same time. You think that they're all gonna blend together and none are really gonna stand out, but somehow you can taste each individual vegetable and what makes it stand apart. You can taste the crunchy root, the crispy, what I think is zucchini or some sort of other root perhaps. The acidic tomatoes, sour but in like a pleasant way that offsets the rest of the other flavors. Some are sweet, some are sour, and somehow it's like a melting pot, but it's not like everything becomes like one piece of sludge. Oh man. And that like tomato sauce at the bottom, it almost tastes like one of the best pasta sauces you're ever gonna have, like a ragu. It just ties everything together. Wow. Wow, and it's just so well spiced. Like, he really knows how to season and spice things, Gordon. Like the tomato sauce, or I'm in the UK, the tomato sauce is so well spiced. All the vegetables are perfectly crunchy, but they're not crunchy like they're raw. Like, they're perfectly cooked to al dente. Like, it's a perfect texture. This dish tastes hearty and healthy at the same time. If I were Anton Ego, my pen would have fell and dropped to the floor slow motion as well, and I would have become good again and not an evil food critic. Now I know what Remy's ratatouille would probably taste like in real life. This is hands down the best vegetable dish I've ever had in my whole life. Thank you. Ooh, everything is so delicate and beautiful. Although, let me show you a different angle. It's quite small though, but I guess that should be expected when it comes to hot cuisine and 3 Michelin star cuisine. Let's dig in to this piece of fish, and it doesn't seem to be flaking apart like I tend to like with fish, but I think that might be intentional cooking style in this case. Okay, a piece of the fish. It didn't flake apart, so I do think it was intentionally underdone a little bit, but I like it. I think they intentionally wanted the fish to taste more fresh from being slightly less cooked on the inside. It's well seasoned on the outside, but not overwhelmingly so. That makes total sense to me, because it's a white, delicate fish, so you don't want that to overpower the neutral white fish flavor. Here it's mostly the fish is super fresh. The sauce they have, while good, I feel like is relatively more pretty and less strong in flavor, I would say. Overall, I really enjoy this. I'm really enjoying it. Though, I would say that the Ratatouille dish was better, so I think it's probably suffering a little bit in comparison.
100-day sirloin of Cumbrian blue gray with Turkish morels, black garlic, baby leeks, and a sauce Diane. So beef sauce has been infused with pickled mustard seeds.
Thank you. Well, guys, you know we ate lots of steak on this channel, a lot of those New York steakhouses, and I think that this is probably going to be the smallest steak. The smallest steak we're ever going to review on UA Eats, but it's the taste that counts in this case. I mean, we had multiple courses, so quality over quantity, of course. Let's dig in though. They keep bringing out new silverware every single time, and they brought another super well, perfectly weighted knife. I think I made this reference before, but like that knife from Game of Thrones that Arya used to kill the Night King. Like a Thanos perfectly balanced knife. So, a bite of the 100-day aged sirloin. Wow, it's super tender. I can just tell by the way that it looks. Seemed to be well cooked. Looks medium rare to me. Super tender. The dry aged flavor is also quite nice. Another bite. The flavor of the meat is definitely really good. Like, you definitely taste that dry aged, like funky, kind of like blue cheese sort of like flavor in there. So definitely aged for 100 days, and it's very soft. The second piece that I ate was less soft than the first piece. First piece like pretty much melts in your mouth. Second piece required a little bit of chewing, but I guess that might be okay, because when you chew it you can really savor the meat, you know? I guess I just feel like this steak here, you guys know the way that I usually like my steaks. I would prefer if there was a bit of a sear. There was no sear at all. Completely non-existent sear. And I get it, at a restaurant of this caliber, they're doing that on purpose. That's not like an oversight or anything, but I think they really want you to savor the innate taste of the meat and not have any like char or mired reaction covering anything up. But I really think in this case, this steak would have benefited from some textural upgrade in terms of a sear, like a crunchy sear. But the flavor of the beef is very good, and it's cooked well. Let's try it with this mustard sauce. Why don't we? The mustard sauce is interesting. I like the way that each of the seeds kind of go pop in your mouth. So maybe that's what they're trying to do to really compensate for the lack of sear here, to give you some texture from the mustard sauce. But I actually feel that the mustard sauce, if anything, kind of covers up what's great about the steak, like that dry aged flavor, the delicious flavor of the beef itself. So I actually prefer eating it on its own than rather with the sauce. But beautiful dish overall. I do want to say though that these mushrooms are fantastic. Like, they may look kind of hairy and, you know, kind of strange at first glance, but these mushrooms are to die for.
Have something to refresh your palate. We have a cherry sorbet with coconut mousse and toasted. toasted coconuts and oxalis.
Okay, thank you. Wow, look at this big bowl. It's almost like if I spin it, it's almost like it's in like a vortex, like it's caught in like a whirlwind or something. But I'm actually getting a little full, so I'm okay with the portion being smaller at this point. Once again, I am struggling to hear all of their everything that's in everything. They're kind of losing me halfway through every time, but I think I heard that there was coconut or something in this, so. Ooh. Oh, definitely coconut. It's so light. I thought it was going to be like yogurt, kind of. I thought this was going to be like a thicker, like a yogurt, but it is so smooth. Oh, and there's actually some fruit on the bottom too. I already like the top. It is so smooth. The coconut flavor, it just tastes like some fresh coconut, and the toasted nuts on top add like a perfect crunch to offset the smooth cream. Let's try some of this fruit at the bottom. Oh yeah. Ooh, but yeah, that sorbet is on the bottom, and as much as I like the cream on top, the cold sorbet with fresh fruit flavor, I think it's like strawberry, combined with that really strong yet subtle and cloud-like smooth coconut with toasted nuts, it all just, like once you combine it, it just perfectly works together. It's like a coconut strawberry nut sundae, but delicate and pretty to look at. Gordon Ramsay, you are a mad genius. You are a mad scientist coming up with these genius concoctions. Don't take this the wrong way, Gordon, but I'm glad you failed to make it as a soccer player. Because let's face it, even if he succeeded in becoming a soccer player, or we're in the UK, football player, maybe he would be average to good, but would he be Gordon Ramsay chef level of a soccer player? Probably not, right? Tina had a very profound observation that she thinks that this plate might have been designed specifically just for this sorbet dish, because the shape of it makes it really easy to scoop the right amount every time. And if you touch the bowl, it's kind of cold to the touch, which I don't think is just because it was housing like a frozen sorbet. This is almost like a little insulator, as well as being pretty. So, amazing.
On to your main desserts now. You have a pecan ravioli parfait, salted brioche dough, coconut ice cream, and peanut nuts.
Thank you. Okay, and I believe this is the last course, but this is a ice cream, I believe, with some other layers to it. I believe some pecan and things like that. Looks like we got some edible gold going on there at the bottom as well. If you guys have seen my Le Bernardin video, this almost looks like a combination between the two desserts that I got and Tina got. Running a little low on phone battery, and as much as I'd hate to break this delicate looking thing, it looks like a pearl on the inside of like a shell. It's meant to be eaten and not just looked at, so guess let's just take one big bite. You like it? Wow, sounds like Tina's enjoying it. One big bite of everything together. Oh, whoa. Wow, that's really unique. Let's try eating some of the ice cream just on its own. Just straight up. It's like a pistachio ice cream, right? Yeah, it's like a pistachio ice cream, and that ice cream alone is fantastic. If I got that from like a specialty ice cream store, I would be a regular at that ice cream shop. Take another bite with this delicious candied pecan. Those candied pecans are fantastic. They're like perfectly covered in that caramel glaze. But yeah, that sauce in the back is like a liquor, like alcohol sauce. And those candied pecans, it makes it so indulgent. And let's try this little fluff on top. That has an alcohol flavor too, like that kind of like boozy ice cream on top. Ooh. You know how some people like soft serve ice cream, some people like hard you know, what is it called, hard serve. This kind of combines the best of both worlds. On top is a quickly melting, like kind of like soft serve ice cream texture with alcohol flavor. The bottom more like your traditional harder ice cream, strong pistachio butter flavor. It's excellent. And then when you take a bite of everything at once, wow. Crunchy, chocolatey, soft and creamy. It's fantastic. One of the most memorable desserts I've had. But, all right, let's eat more of this. And I think this is it, so let's share final thoughts outside. All right, guys, so we just finished our pretty large meal at Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, and yeah, I gotta say, guys, I came in with pretty high expectations. And Gordon Ramsay, I mean, the guy is just so famous. I mean, I think you could argue he's one of the most famous people on the planet at this point. I gotta say that despite my high expectations, they were all met. In some cases exceeded. That was a fantastic meal. I might even go as far as to say that was one of the best meals I've had in my whole life. Especially that ratatouille, man. Oh, that was one of the best vegetable dishes I've had in my whole life, if not one of my favorite dishes I've had in my whole life. And I actually talked to the staff a little bit too, and I asked if Gordon Ramsay actually still is involved much with the restaurant, or if he's kind of just handed it over and he's still on paper the person in charge. They said every time he's in the UK, he comes to the restaurant and he supervises. So he's still heavily involved, and I gotta say, Gordon, the guy knows what he's doing. Not just a reality TV chef or just a TV chef. His legit restaurant, the one that made him famous, 20 years, 3 Michelin stars, it's for a reason. So this restaurant 100% lived up to the hype. And while like any 3 Michelin star restaurant, not cheap, but if you're in London and you're willing to splurge, I think it was definitely worth it. Definitely a meal to remember. But what do you guys think? Have you guys eaten at Restaurant Gordon Ramsay before? Or have you eaten at any of his other restaurants before? And what do you think of the guy and his food in general? Let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. It looks like it's gonna start raining anytime now, so we better get out of the rain before it starts. So more cool videos in London coming. So until next time, I'll see you later.